Hey everyone, it's Will, Gamerdad, with another video for you. So after doing a few rounds of the sealed realm with the red keys, and you only need really 3 in order to get all the levels for the 37 million XP, you'll be able to challenge the second and more difficult Laya Blitz aka Kikyo's Manifest. Now if you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel, I really appreciate it. Now I do show 2 different ways of beating it, and I also show a way that worked but wouldn't be optimal. So depending on your team and your RNG, I would highly recommend avoiding that second clear. So I'll show you that after this successful clear. Now first of all, obviously because Kikyo is wind, we want to use fire. Note that if she takes damage, she gets certain stacks, and if she gets to 6, she'll generate another self. So if you do an AF that has multiple hits in any one turn, it'll generate that clone, and if you use Kikyo, you'll know that she can definitely start generating tons and tons of avoiding you so that you don't take any hits. The clone basically takes a hit for you. Now, I'm not sure if it's during the AF only or outside AF, but in my testing, I believe it is either or. And so you really want to use either units that can do a large damage in a small amount of hits, as opposed to multi-hit attacks. So in the first 2 turns, I decided to just set up my buffs and debuffs, a lot of shielding. Remember that the burning shield from Garyu does protect against wind damage by 50%. You also have Fire Zone protecting wind damage by 50%. You also have physical res up from Bivet, after which you're just going to wear it down. And honestly, with all those shields in place, you're probably not going to take a lot of damage. As you can clearly see, her stacks have not gotten to 6, and at the end of each turn it goes back down to 0 or no orbs, and so that's pretty much it. So as long as you're able to blast through, and I did make sure I set up buffs and debuffs for the first couple turns. The boss also has 3 HP stoppers, 1 at 1/3, 1 at 2/3, 1 at 0 life, in which case it will recover HP each and every time, and finally a full additional bar. Other than that, if you have a lot of power down and wind resist, you really shouldn't have any difficulty with this fight. Otherwise, we'll keep on going. And so True Manifested Garyu is easily able to clear enough damage. I would say that this fight, they don't have a lot of HP per bar, but you still have to be careful, especially at each HP stopper. It does a fixed 50% max HP damage, so if you're not healed up, it can actually kill you, especially if you bring down multiple HP stoppers in one go. So we already have multiple stacks of power down, and at this point, I'm just trying to make sure I blast it enough in order to end the fight. So you can see that even 30 million was enough to clear 1 bar. So I'm not sure about the exact mechanics as to when the clone activates, but once the clone is in play, the fight gets a lot more difficult. And I'll show you that after this example. So let me know in the comments below what kind of team you used, if you did beat it, or if you have any suggestions or any clarification on some of the mechanics. As I said, I decided to go non-AF strat and kind of wear it down, because when I did the AF strat in earlier attempts, it wasn't pretty. And so it would take a long time to kind of fight through the boss. I wasn't in any danger of dying, but let's be honest, we're all looking for Eleganto low turn clears, and this obviously isn't a super optimized team, but I never felt in danger of dying, unlike some of the more recent True Manifest battles out there, looking at you, Myris, and Lokito. So obviously this is a whale strat. We have 2 255 units actually with Aisha and Garyu, and so obviously if you don't have those free units grinded up all the way up, your mileage may vary, as well as the ability to carry Grasta and so forth. However, you can clearly see there's plenty of room to carry Grasta. I mean, Bivet's not carrying anything, and even Aisha's not optimized in that sense. Besides, those 2 aren't even used for DPS, so there's that. But Garyu is relied on for DPS. Okay, so let me show you what happens if you first turn AF and do lots and lots of hits and go past that 6 orbs where she's going to generate another self. So you can see setup zone, blast, 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 blast. Clearly more than 6 hits. Now, I'm also not sure if Tetra's 3-hit combo counts towards it. I believe not, from what I can see. But anyways, setting up all my buffs and debuffs, really no issues with doing the first 1/3 HP damage. However, the HP stopper occurred, and we have done the full bar. Note that she does have 6 stacks. Or, well, I don't know, both. Well, not 3, not 6, 3. Again, not sure exactly how she gets that many stacks, but clearly after the HP stopper, because I kept on hitting her or whatnot, she generated her another cell, which is extremely annoying. Just watch. As I attack, miss, miss, and keep in mind, it counts a miss against every hit. It can be 80% evade rate, so essentially very similar to using or fighting someone like AS Hina, except that Hina can get up to 90% evasion rate. And to make things worse, you can only get rid of the stacks either, I think, 1 per turn, or if you hit it with any damage, and it's hard to hit damage if she's avoiding all the time. So I have hit the 3 hits required to get 3 orbs disappeared. And then after that, the following turn, the clone disappears. And I'll keep in mind the mechanic still is in place, so if you start hitting the enemy too many times, I believe you'll start generating another clone. Okay, so you can clearly see I hit more than 6 times. And we also cleared an HP bar. Now, the other thing too about generating those orbs and the clone is I'm not sure if it's just due to at the HP stopper or whatnot, but certainly when I do AF, it seems to occur more frequently. That being said, even outside AF, I have been able to trigger those stacks to occur with another clone, so to speak. Again, AF just for your benefit to kind of see what's up. And 50% HP damage, full bar regeneration. This is the 4th life, so to speak. Our end of turn effects occur, and then at the start of turn, she gets that silly clone, which is annoying. And again, this one only has 2 stacks, so really not sure why it's only 2. I've seen some with 6 or 7. And again, after each turn, one of those do drop, so you can see it's 1. I didn't land any successful hits. But that being said, it is RNG, and as long as you keep surviving, you know, you're going to eventually win. And there you have it. It's like, it's over. So, annoying, yeah, but easy clear nonetheless. And finally, don't forget that we can use wind against wind as well. Now, keep in mind that these are the easier fights already. You technically, with no aura in play, you can use any element to fight it. But I just wanted to bring out the wind team. And note that Sesta is not on this fight. This is going to be a 4-turn no AF clear. We are using a little bit of cheap strategy using Aesora as a tank. First turn is again non-AF, setting up buffs and debuffs. I established Wind Zone. We are putting power down from both Demonic Thrust as well as Aesora. Then we're giving crit damage up with Windy Attack from Nokoko Normal Style. 7 Nights of Pain to Awaken Zone. Foi Sincere, which will help Aesora increase type and physical res by 50%. And all we have to do now is preemptively tank over and over again, and we just do our damage. But again, keep in mind that if you do multiple HP's bars in one turn, it will attack each and every time, and so keep that in mind if you are doing that. In this case, my damage was just enough that it wasn't clearing 2 HP bars in one go. If you do that, you will have multiple bodies on the ground. Bear that in mind. If you look at my setup, I do not have any kind of Grasta boosters in the back to help my team. I found that actually having less damage was perfect in having just enough damage to kind of set up where I was able to clear each HP bar without triggering multiple HP bars at one time. So you can take a look at the setup. Note that the enemy also does put power down on your team on the first turn. Now, I didn't mention it earlier because when you're using a magic team, power down really doesn't matter. However, in a physical team, it does matter, and I did use Proficiency, Debuff, Resistance, Grasta in order to offset that on my 2 DPS. Don't really care about Aesora or Nokoko Normal Style, as they are mainly support. A little bit of DPS, but really mainly support. Kikyo can carry Grasta as an axe user for Ultra Suzette. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.